All right, we're here with episode 2 of our podcast. Today we're talking about our predictions for the NL Central. So I think we can both agree on it. The Reds are going to be the number one team coming out of the NL Central.
Hey, they did a lot this offseason. Gotta give them
Yeah.
credit.
Oh, yeah. Compared to what they've done in the past.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they finally gave Votto a chance at playoffs again in his career. Has he made it in the playoffs in his career? I have no idea.
Yes, back in like the 2010 days with the Jay Bruce team, Brandon Phillips, those guys, Johnny Cueto, Matt Latos, those guys.
Throwback.
Wild card teaming out though, and I think they played the Phillies too when the Phillies were good.
They finally gave him. Oh, that was the Phillies. That was like what was that, like a 2008 team? Probably.
No, when Halladay threw the perfect game, it was against the Reds, I'm pretty sure, in the playoffs.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's rough. But we got – I mean, they made some big acquisitions already, but we'll talk about that in a second. They got guys like Suarez, Aquino, Votto out in their lineup, and then they have the pitching staff of Bauer, Castillo, and Gray. I mean, that's pretty legit.
And then Amir Garrett on the back end with Raisel Iglesias.
Oh, Raisel, yeah. Iglesias and Garrett, yeah. So the man willing to fight the whole division, Amir Garrett.
It's not going to be a great defensive team because you got guys like Castellanos that can't defend for their lives.
Yeah.
And then Moustakas playing out of position as well.
Where's he going to play? Second,
yeah. They have Suarez at third.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah, that's right. He's a big leaguer for a reason, so make a quick adjustment, hopefully.
Whatever the metrics say,
Well, yes.
You probably saw something. It's analytics style now.
Analytics. But then they got, behind the dish, they just have, Barnhart and Kurt Casilli, whatever his name is.
Inspiring.
But, I mean, Barnhart's just is like a defensive specialist, if you want to call him a defensive specialist, or just another guy to go out there. Nothing against the guy, but – and then they got Moose. They got Castellanos, the guy who blew up last year. I mean, did he hit well the whole season, right?
He was good the year before. He was good the year before. It took off with the Cubbies.
Yeah. That was the trade deadline acquisition?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he got 4 years, 64, same contract as Moustakas. Then they just added Wade Miley, too, to that rotation. I mean, Wade Miley. He did good with the Orioles, but I mean, define good with the Orioles when you're not pitching for anything meaningful. Like, you can go out there and shove whenever you want, or do bad. You're not gonna not make the team if you have a veteran presence on the team.
Also, you can't forget about the wild card for this Reds team, Nick Senzel.
Oh yeah, what was he? I thought he was an second.
He's a Swiss Army knife type player. Play all over the place.
Oh yeah, big utility guy, right? Big utility player.
Yeah,
but I honestly thought he was just a shortstop coming up. I guess they moved him to outfield now, probably.
Yeah, he's all over the second, outfield, short, whatever. I mean, they're kind of full.
If the NL had a DH, Freddie Galvis is at short.
Oh. Okay.
But I mean, if the NL has had a DH, like Moose could play DH, and then they just move Senzel to
coming soon, right?
Second or short, what?
2021 on the DH in the NL?
Possibly, they said. Possibly. But then they got that guy, excuse my pronunciation of this man, Shogo Akiyama, 3 years, $21 million. He got a career batting average of, 300 over there in Japan. He's been playing since 2015. And then he has a high of – in 2015 in Japan or wherever it was, hit 359. He had 260. I mean, again, it's over there. It's not you're not facing the same talent, but 359 is 359. You're still hitting the ball. Like I said in our past show, you still got to hit the ball.
Yeah, but thinking of those guys overseas, you have the guys like Ichiro who translate, but then you have guys like Byung-Ho Park or Sun Young Kim or whatever. Those guys flame out after a year. I'd even put Jung-Ho Kang in there too.
Oh, yeah, Jung-Ho Kang.
I know he's a supporter, but –
yeah. I mean – he had his own issues that derailed him from his major league career, but we won't talk about that. I still love the guy to death, but whatever. But I mean, they're gonna have a full year of Aquino, a full year of Bauer. I mean, and a Gray that was already
He just
dominant.
escaped the Bronx. If that was the pressure.
Yeah, it's the Bronx pressure, bro. Like AJ Burnett left the Bronx, went somewhere to Pittsburgh and did fine. He was like their ace at the time with Garrett Cole. I'm not ace, but second, number 2, whatever back then.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, they're not even gonna win 70 games this year.
We'll talk about that. We have to go with our second place finish. Who is your second place finish? We'll talk about that. What?
Mine's the St. Louis Cardinals.
The St. Louis Cardinals, yes, easy pick right there. They didn't do anything this offseason, in my opinion. I mean,
lost Ozuna.
That's right, to the Braves. But I think they can compensate for that. I mean, their outfield is current. I mean, they got Tyler O'Neill from last year. I think they finally they're giving a full year to Lane Thomas. They have Bader and Fowler, but like Bader and Fowler, in my opinion, are just like
the same player.
Yeah, you got to throw them out there. They're speedy. They got a glove. Let's see if Bader can have a good 2020, hopefully, if that season is going to happen and if the divisions do happen. We'll talk about that in another video eventually. But
they've got guys like Nolan Gorman. I don't know when their ETA is, but
ETA for Gorman like 2022. So it's like 2022-ish, 2023-ish. And then they have Dylan Clarkson, left fielder. So that'll add some help to the outfield. He's pretty good. And then they have pitching, which he will take the place of Adam Wainwright at the helm. Matt Liberator. He was the guy traded in the
Rays trade.
What?
It was a trade with the Rays for Jose Martinez.
Oh, yeah. He's gone now too, right?
Yeah, he's in Tampa, but he was just a bat. Complete liability with the glove. He fits well in that Tampa area.
Oh, yeah. But Tampa needs offense, so they'll figure it out. I mean, their infield's pretty set. DeYoung, Carpenter, Edmund, Goldschmidt. They have Brad Miller, Colton Wog, and then that guy Rangel Ravello. Sorry, I don't know their full roster, but apparently Ravello did good last year. I mean, I honestly don't know about Tommy Edman that well, but
and Yachty behind the dish.
And they have Matt Wieters too. Again, liability. Pinch hit off the bench, give Yachty some rest. Pitching wise, though,
Flaherty, Michaelis, however you pronounce it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And Dakota, right?
Yeah, and then you got Carlos Martinez, the wild card. Who knows if he'll be in the bullpen or the closing games or starting.
I mean, he's not a bad closer. They have Cecil and Gallego.
Yeah.
The
Voit trade, actually.
The Voit trade, yeah. I mean, he's doing good over there now, so good for him. Let him rock over there in St. Louis. But I mean, I'll take Voit for Gallego. I mean, Yankees bullpen is pretty good as it is, but I mean, back to Cardinals, but they have this guy Ryan Helsley. He's also a pretty good guy. They have Miller, of course, but I do think Martinez is probably going to end up being a starter this year because they have no. They actually do have a lot of guys that are probably going to be. They have Ponce de Leon too. Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Yeah.
They have you said Nicholas Hudson. So they have a lot of options, but again, it's an easy finish for them. They have the offensive firepower, I think, to make a push. I don't know, like a wild card team possibly.
Yeah, they're my first wild card.
First wild card. Yeah. I mean,
I don't see anyone in the West contending, and then the
NL West.
Time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Besides LA.
Yeah, besides LA, obviously, because they're just gonna. I think they're gonna run away with their division. So.
Yeah, and then don't forget with the Cardinals, you got Andrew Miller. If he rebounds, lights out. ALCS MVP in 2016. We know what he's capable of. So
he's capable of a reliever of the year award whenever he so chooses to turn back the clock to the Indian and Yankee era. Who was he with before the Yankees? Boston?
Baltimore and Boston.
Baltimore?
Yeah, you guys signed him from Baltimore.
I honestly didn't even remember that.
I think it was like a 3-year 30, and then you guys
Three-year.
traded him for Clinton and all those guys.
Yeah.
Sheffield was
Fine
on
with
that.
that. I mean, whatever. So that wraps up the Cardinals. I mean, they should be making a run. They have pretty good prospects for years to come from their somewhat bad years, and they got lucky with draft picks and such, and hopefully they pan out. Who's your next pick?
I'm gonna go with the Cubbies.
Cubs, yes. The Cubs stayed the same. They have done absolutely nothing this offseason. A boring division as if we were talking about off-season transactions. But, I mean, they're the Cubs. I mean, they have the Brizzo duo with, as you say, the face of the franchise,
Javi Baez, yeah.
El Mago. Uh,
Mago.
but I mean, they pretty much have the same pitching staff as they did in the 2018 run, right? That's when they won
No, they won in 16.
16. Yeah, 16. I can't believe I just said that. They have like the cornerstones of Hendricks and Lester, but they added Quintana. What?
Cornerstones? I don't know if they're
no, like cornerstones as if like they played with the World Series.
Oh,
But they have enough experience to make a push, but I don't know if they're going to be the guys to help them with that. But they have the offense to do it, I think. But
yeah, we'll see. We got what Chris Bryant we get this year. I know we have different opinions on him. I don't know. It's been a long time since he won that MVP. I mean, he's had some pedestrian years since, but
did he win Roy
he won Roy and then an MVP
that same year, right?
No, 15. He was a rookie he was a rookie when the Mets went to the World Series, and then 16 he won MVP and was a World Series champ too.
I mean, they also have some pretty good prospects. They call that guy Nico Hornier.
Just him, really. I've looked at every ranking. They're bottom, at least 25 or lower.
Yeah, I mean,
Hornier is good though.
Oh yeah, Hornier is supposed to be good. He just hasn't gotten playing time because of Javi and because he's in a stacked infield. But that's if they put Brian at third because they just throw him wherever they feel like it, and he's busy worrying about his fielding, in my opinion. Because his rookie year and the MVP year, he just had to play third base. All of a sudden, I look on TV on like a Sunday night game, and Chris Bryant's out there roaming in left field, like not clueless, but he's playing the game. Like, I still don't think he should be playing outfield, but that could contribute to some of his issues, if you want to say hitting issues.
I don't know, you know more than me.
I mean, he's not doing bad. But he's not the Bryant that we know, or that you wanted him.
Does it get to your head, like switching positions? Does it affect your hitting as a baseball player? Obviously,
I would definitely, because you're one day you're like, oh, okay, coach, I'm comfortable. I'm just jog out to third, and the next day he's like during BP, like, oh, you're gonna go play outfield, like you take reps in the outfield before game, kind of thing. I mean, he's an athlete. Chris Bryant's an athlete. I think he can definitely play outfield. It's just a matter of like he has to get comfortable that, and then maybe he can just focus on hitting. But again, he has the constant flip-flop between third base and outfield. And it's not like he's just playing one position. He's going out there left field, center field, right field, whenever Madden felt like throwing him out there. But, I mean, who's the new manager?
David Ross.
Rossi. Old man Ross. I mean, maybe he played with most of those players, so maybe he'll put them where they're comfortable kind of thing. And it's going to be weird to see how that management's going to go of that team.
That'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah. You want to get onto the Brewers? Or if that's your next pick, unless the Brewers are finishing lower than the Pirates, in your opinion. But
oh, no. Milwaukee's better than Pittsburgh.
Milwaukee is better than Pittsburgh. They actually did a few things. They made one blockbuster trade. Now, would you call it blockbuster or no?
If Urias performs the way he should perform, then yes. But right now it's just a swap. It's just a couple of changes of scenery because Trent Grisham, apparently, I didn't know he was supposed to be some great guy. We all know him for
Wild card.
we all know him for laying the trash on the World Series, but we won't continue with that. But now he's supposed to be some superb hitter, so now he's in San Diego, and then Urias, who was hitting like below 200, gets another shot in Milwaukee with Moose leaving.
Yeah, they already have guys like Arcia and Huria out in the infield. They added was Sogard with the team last year? Or no, Sogard was with the Blue Jays.
Sogard was with the Brewers.
Really?
At some point. I
So
think he might have been acquired.
So then they have guys like I think they added Justin Smoke last year. Year. They lost Yasmani Grandal, right?
Yeah. The White Sox.
So their catcher right now is Omar Narvaez, which is one of the better hitting catchers in the NL. But to define better, it's like there's not a lot to go around. There's Yachty, there's Wilson Ramos, which you're probably happy that I brought up that name, but it's
Realmuto too.
Realmuto, yes. Probably one of the better catchers in the business. Realmuto, in my opinion, probably one of the best. In my opinion, number one, but again, whatever. And then they added, I'm pretty sure they got Brock Holt this offseason or last offseason. Yeah. Again, nothing that too eye-jawing. I mean, their outfield's pretty nice. Yelich.
Yeah, their top 5 player in the league. It's going to be above average.
Yeah. You got Locaine, Braun.
I forgot about Locaine, yeah. So 2 out of 3 or so.
Who else did they add?
Oh, they had Braun, too, yeah. Avisal Garcia.
I got his a home run ball of his when I went to a AAA game against the Orioles AAA team down in Virginia. That was pretty cool. Me and my friend dug underneath the fence behind the White Sox bullpen and was like, "Pilota, ball," and they were like, "See." So that was pretty nice. They have Hader. They're getting Knebel back from Tommy John, right? Yes. I think he was out last year. They did add one. You didn't hear about this, but one stud. All right, Josh Lindholm. Never heard of him. He played for the Dodgers, played in Korea, was a stud in Korea, and now came over to play for the Brewers. Because, small market teams gotta do something, right? I mean, it's just I feel bad for Yelich because he has some of the offensive offensive capability. It's just like now you got the pitching.
I've been telling you, I think they're the most overrated team in baseball. I mean, they have the hitting. I know that's there. But, I mean, you have Brandon Woodruff as your one. Then who else? You need at least 3 capable starters to succeed. Your offense can only take you so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen with some teams that, they need a 4th guy and they have to rely on a bullpen game or something. It's not going to cut it in the biggest stage.
Yeah, bullpen games aren't going to get you anywhere, at least in playoffs. It worked for some teams, but you can't bank on that. I'd rather a 4-star, like a decent 4-starter than a bullpen game. Plus, that'll tax you for other games unless you're winning in the series kind of thing. But, I mean, they do have – I haven't really heard about any other prospects. I mean, I have them up right now. It's just they have a lot of guys that are like ETA for 2023. And by then, I don't know about how Yelich's production is going to be after his injury last year. About was it a fractured shin, something with his knee maybe?
Yeah, I think he hit a ball in his foot or something.
Yeah, the foul tip. In Miami of all places.
Miami.
So you may be getting past his prime years. I don't know how he's going to react, but who knows? And last but not least, the infamous
Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, they finally had some turnover. They got rid of Clint Hurdle and their GM, so they have complete new faces in there. I feel like Hurdle's been there forever.
Yeah, I don't even remember the last Pirates manager besides Clint Hurdle. I mean, Clint Hurdle did sign my jersey. He's a pretty nice guy. Kind of awkward, but it's Clint Hurdle. Yeah, old school manager. It's not the GM and the owner managing the team. He's managing the team kind of thing, if you know. Taking a few shots here and there at someone. You know who you are. Um, they have Joe Musgrove, Archer. That's really their 1 and 2. I mean, Trevor Williams at the 3. They lost Velasquez for something that he did, that his stupid situation that he never should have got himself into. I mean, Bell at first. You got Newman at second. Frazier at
Reynolds.
short. What?
Reynolds in the outfield.
Oh yeah, and he's a walking 300 hitter now, in my opinion. He's not gonna hit like bombs. Like he's gonna hit for average. I'm happy they finally got a guy like that, because really it was just like, and of course Gregory Polanco. They lost Starling Marte to the. Did they trade or no? He signed.
They traded him.
Traded to him to the D-backs. So they got rid of some of his contract. Maybe they didn't go out and sign anyone.
Small market.
Small market. I mean, it's Pittsburgh. Should be a
Got
nice
the
city.
Steelers there, yeah.
You got the Steelers there. You're playing at a somewhat nice field.
It's very nice. I've been.
Nice field?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. They have guys like, from what I know, the Nick Birdie. I don't know if you know who Nick Birdie is. He's a bullpen piece that they had last year. Had like a 10 ERA. I mean, the guy throws 102 with like a sinker, a fastball, and a nasty slider, nasty changeup. If he can put it together, he can be their closer. In my opinion, just throw him out there for the year. Let's see what he can do. Guys like Mitch Keller, who's there. I think Mitch Keller is their number 1 prospect. He is their number 1. They have guys like O'Neal Cruz, Key, K. Brian Hayes. I know them. I only know those 2 for MLB The Show. But I do know O'Neal Cruz is pretty freaking good. So there's no reason that he can – he's ETA to 2021. Hayes is 2020. Mitch Keller has made it to the MLB. So there is talent. Now let's just see if they pan out, and hopefully they get lucky and maybe 1 year sign a few off-season pieces. And that's all I really got on this division. I mean, the Reds have the advantage. They have the talent. They have a few of the prospects that slowly panned out. They made big off-season moves. I mean, your take on all this in the NL Central?
I know a lot of people may not agree with the Reds, but they had talent last year. I mean, they kind of started off slow, but you could see the firepower in that offense. And then, yeah.
Diedrich. I forgot Diedrich.
Oh, yeah.
They have Diedrich, too. And Michael Lorenzen in the bullpen. And Lorenzen throws 100+ too. So you got Diedrich. Sorry, continue. Sorry.
No, it's fine. The Reds, their rotation top 5 in the league. I'd argue. I mean, you have a guy like Bauer, who's played on the biggest stage. He's been in a World Series before. Pitched, I think, out of relief. He's been there multiple times in playoffs. And you got a guy like Sonny Gray, who's done it in 2013, Cy Young contender, couple-time All-Star.
Yankees.
Yeah, and then Luis Castillo, who's a up-and-coming star. He's got a huge like K/9 ratio or whatever it's called. He's got to bring the walks down. And then Wade Miley, he's great for a 4. And I think the 5 is Anthony DeSclafani, who didn't have a terrible year himself, but I mean, he's probably one of the better 5 starters in the league, in my opinion. But
I mean, that's a solid rotation. And Miley also has playoff experience. So, because he played for the Astros probably, and I think he may have pitched on that Orioles team with Delman Young back when they made the playoffs versus the Tigers all the way back when, because he's been in the league a while.
He was on the Brewers team that made it to the NLCS in, what was it, 18? 17, sorry. No, 18. Yeah, 18.
So, I mean, this is the Reds, in my opinion, are also my clear favorite. They got the pitching. They have the hitting. And they just got to see if the guys they signed panned out. And I'm just saying, if Shogo pans out, if he actually pans out for a year, hopefully, not trying to knock the guy, but like you guys got like Ohtani and then all these other guys that like came and then they're here 1 year in spring training, hyped up, and then they just kind of like disappear off the face of the earth. Or they're on a team, you just don't know where they are because no one's talking about them. But hopefully Shogo, if he hits 300 for the Reds, which he can in the NL Central, why not? I mean, other teams I don't have that much stacked pitching. that lineup can do damage. A lot of experienced hitters. Votto going to have another good year as usual. Eugenio's going to hit like 40 bombs, walking 40. Gave
I'd
you
argue
Pete Alonso a run for his money, but, Pete won. You were
I'd
saying?
argue they're probably the second best right now in the NL, rotation wise.
Oh, yeah, rotation.
On Washington.
Washington is the first. Corbin.
I put the Mets at 2, but obviously Noah out. I have to drop them, and then the Reds are 2, and then maybe the Dodgers 3, Mets 4.
I agree with that statement. I do agree with that statement. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's about it for this all we can talk about on this podcast. So
yeah.
All right. Down below, we're gonna have all our links to the social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.